Okay, everybody, we're getting really, really close to the end here. We're just have to do some work with imperial mass or weight. And yes, if you really want to get technical with this, their mass and weight are certainly not the same term. We talked about this when we looked at the SI mass and weight. I don't want to get into it again, but for this, essentially what we have to do now is just do some calculations with the imperial units. So we're just going to move along here. I'm not going to spend too much time on the history of this. Of course, as you know, I will add the blank notes to the assessment section. Sorry, and I want you to try the practice questions there, so you can really read this if you want. I think I'm just going to move on to the examples because the calculations are becoming somewhat repetitive. What's going on here is just, here's a constant that we know. 1 pound is 16 ounces. That will be also on your conversion factor sheet. It actually is the first one. It says 1 pound is 16 ounces right there. I just put this in here as kind of a side thing. Which is heavier, a pound of gold or a pound of feathers? One of them would certainly take up more space, more volume, but a pound is a pound, and they would weigh the same. Okay, let's try some examples here. Okay, so nutritionists recommend teenagers eat 5 ounces of protein each day. How many pounds of protein would this, so you want to figure out how many pounds of protein over the course of a month. The first thing we have to do is figure out how many ounces in total. So we have 30 days. This is not a hard question. 30 days times 5 ounces, and that's going to give you 150 ounces of protein. Now that's fine. The only problem we have there, though, is they want this in pounds, not in protein. So we're going to look at our conversion factor table, and we know that 1 lb, 1 pound, is equal to 16 ounces. So we'll make up our equal proportion, 1 pound over 16 ounces. We have 150 is what we're working with. So ounces was bottom left, so now it'll be bottom right. So that's where you're going to do your cross multiply and divide. The diagonal with both numbers is 1 and 150. No matter which way you multiply it, that is going to give you 150. And then you're going to divide it by 16, which gives you 9.375 lb, lbs or pounds. Pretty simple question, no big deal. Someone had a baby that was 6 pounds 7 ounces. How many ounces did the newborn weigh? Well, I think first what I would do is I try to figure out, we have 6 whole pounds. Well, how many ounces is that? Remember, we know that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So you can do straight multiplication, you can do a proportion, it doesn't really matter. I'll show the longer way. That's probably a little more difficult, but whatever. Let's see here, we have 6 pounds, that should go on top. So that's going to be essentially 6 times 16. So all together, 6 times 16 should be 96 ounces. That is not the answer to the question. That simply 6 pounds translates into 96 ounces. There still was the 7 other ounces that you have to include, so that will give you 103 ounces altogether. No big deal there. We'll move along. I don't think there's any need to stop here because it's becoming repetitive and you're just using conversion factors over and over and over. The next page here deals with weighing larger things. It talks about a ton. In the imperial system, large weights are measured in tons. There are short tons and long tons. I don't really want to get into that too much. It is on your conversion factor sheet. Essentially, it says 1 long ton is 2,240 pounds and 1 short ton is 2,000 pounds. I mean, that's basically all you need to know. That, of course, is right here as well. And we'll just use that now to do some calculations. So what does this one say? It says a person hauls gravel. He estimates that 1 cubic yard weighs 3,000 pounds. How many tons short would 5 cubic yard loads weigh? Okay, well, we know, based on the question, not from our front, it says here that 1 yard cubed weighs 3,000 pounds. Okay, no big deal. Now the person has 5 cubic yards. Well, basically then I think in my mind we're just going to times this by 5, because each cubic yard is 3,000 pounds. So essentially the person has 15,000 pounds. Okay, 15,000 pounds. Now, what the person wants to do next, though, is they want to convert it into tons. And we are dealing with short tons. So what we're going to do is we're going to look in our conversion factor table. We know that one short ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. Now, we have used 15,000 pounds. So if pounds were bottom left, they'll be bottom right. Put your X there. The diagonal you're going to multiply is 1 times 15,000, which of course is 15,000. And then you're going to divide by 2,000, which gives you 7.5 tons. I like how as this unit goes along here, we can start doing these calculations a little bit faster because, of course, you've come across. I think you have the skills now at this point in time to absorb new information and simply get the calculations done. One last little point that might come in here as the page changes is there are times when you have to go from Imperial back to SI. And quite often we talked about this earlier where we talk about pounds, we talk about our weight in pounds, but a license is in kilograms. Also, I know people who work in the medical field who, when they have to use medication, knowing a person's weight in pounds really is irrelevant. They have to know quite well how to take a person's weight and convert that into kilograms and then administer medication based on the weight in kilograms. So, and you can see how doing that wrong could cause some issues. So for this, what we're going to do is we're going to look down into the SI and Imperial portion of our conversion factor table. We do know it says there that, pardon me, it says that 1 kilogram is equal to 2.20462 pounds. So we'll put that as the left side of our proportion here. And 116 is in pounds, bottom left, bottom right. So I would multiply those two and then divide by the other one. That should give you an answer of 52.6 kilograms. I suppose what you could do, you don't have to, but you could very easily right now, if you know what you weigh in pounds, you could convert your weight over to kilograms. So that would be the one time where you're going to see that there is a bit of a correlation or interaction between the SI and the Imperial system. As always, I will enter, or I'll allow you access to the blank copy of these notes for you can try the practice questions that have answers. Make sure you can figure those out. And we'll go from there. We're almost done this unit.